Why do you reside in this restroom? I'm just a quirky little white boy here to talk to some ghosts. Throw me over the edge of this catwalk. Chuck me like a rag doll. Could you turn that light back on for us? I have been waiting over 3 years to do a paranormal investigation at the location behind me, my alma mater, which is a fancy and pretentious way of saying my high school. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go in. The Springfield High School Auditorium is known in the community for its generally poor acoustics, 2019's infamously bad rendition of The Crucible, and for a series of unexplained and shockingly consistent paranormal encounters, going back as far as the school's staff can remember. I actually started making this video as a senior in high school, and then there was a pandemic, which ended the school year and canceled the project. Until now.
If you were to talk to any theater person, people who work in theaters, etc., every single one of them will tell you, oh yeah, our theater is haunted. Almost every theater has a ghost. In fact, if you look historically, most theaters put up a ghost light whenever their theater is dark, meaning if there's not a performance or anything going, if you were to walk into that space, there would be a solitary light standing in the middle of the stage. And that is hung over from years and years and years ago of people believing, right, that the space was haunted and the ghost light would keep those spirits away. One year, told my stories to the class and I had a girl rolling her eyes in the back. Next day, I get a phone call from the student's parents. I 100% teach it as storytelling, not as belief-changing information. And I start to explain this to the parent and she's like, oh no, yeah, my daughter's really upset, but I'm really excited. I think that sounds great. She goes, well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring my friend who is sensitive to paranormal activity. She brought her friend to the school and she explained what she was gonna do. She goes, what I want you to do is not tell me anything. Anything, okay. Just let's walk around the theater. And the one space that probably gets the most storytelling opportunities in the theater is our costume loft. She starts to walk through the aisles of the costumes and then she goes, do you get donations from people who've passed away? And I kind of laugh at this point because I'm like, yeah, most of our donations come after somebody passes away because the clothes are usually dated and nobody wears them anymore. She goes, yeah, you do know that a lot of the times, if it is something that somebody felt very attached to, sometimes they come with the item. And I was like, no, I had no idea. And then she turned and there is our antique wheelchair, right? The wooden backed wheelchair. And she goes, I can feel a lot in this chair right now. And she goes, someone spent a lot of time in that chair. And I was like, okay.
That makes sense if they were wheelchairs.
I know.
We're gonna start off with the loft.
Today, I plan to prove that I am the smartest ghost hunter alive. As the investigation progresses, we will use more and more pieces of ghost hunting equipment in tandem with each other, rather than only one at a time like all the fraudulent ghost shows use. In addition, we all know that ghosts hate being captured on camera. They're very elusive. So, we've mounted 4 completely fake, non-functional security cameras at key points around the auditorium, which will trick the ghosts into going somewhere else, where we'll pin them and catch them.
And we're gonna welcome a little junior investigator friend, Finn Lusby.
Hello.
Hi, Finn.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
That's great. Our first gadget is called a spirit box. It rapidly cycles through radio stations. It's essentially just a radio.
We're gonna get copyright struck.
The difference is that the spirit box rapidly flips through channels like channel surfing at a faster and faster rate. So the thinking is that ghosts, apparently people after they die, their souls gain the inexplicable ability to manipulate electromagnetic signals. If we hear a coherent word through the spirit box, the thinking is that it's a specter coming to communicate.
I'm just hearing music.
These ghosts are really talkative today. Is there anyone up here with us?
I heard Jeff and then Tyler.
Are your names Jeff and Tyler? I heard... What was your favorite sports team? Did you hear that? It's a Transformer fan.
We just need to get yes or no questions right now.
You're right. Okay.
Is there anyone with us? I heard yeah. I heard a yeah.
Have you been here a while?
I heard yeah. I heard yeah. Yeah. Woo. Is there more than one person with us? Two.
You heard two?
Dude.
Isn't that what the medium said to Miss Plum?
I heard two.
That there was two people in here?
I heard two. I'm not even kidding. Dude. I literally, watch it back. Please, I'm not projecting. I'm not projecting. I heard two.
We're also hearing 100 other things that aren't coherent responses.
I heard two.
What's your zodiac sign? Are you a Capricorn?
I heard I don't know.
Yeah, I also heard that. I heard I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
Yo, okay.
More of like a Virgo. I was gonna say Virgo. That is wild.
Pisces. Do you like us?
Dude, they're not old people. They're ghosts. You don't have to yell at them.
You're right, you're right.
Do you want Jell-O for dinner tonight?
Hiked the price of insulin. Val Hoyle pushed legislation to keep insulin prices high. Why?
Tired of creepy guys online? Alex Scarlatos.
Tired of creepy guys online? Watch out for Alex Scarlatos. He's repeatedly liked photos of girls as young as 15 and joked about choking women to death during sex.
Actually,
He shouldn't represent us.
It's disgraceful. It's sickening.
This is the most clear response I think a spirit has ever given on camera.
Dude, we heard yeah, and I heard two. I'm not tripping.
Okay, and if you heard I don't know.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
I heard well.
I heard two.
Scarlatos for Congress.
Okay, what would you do if that doll just abruptly moved its head?
She was kind of making like little type stuff, and we walk up to the loft, and the first thing we get up there, and she goes, okay. And she goes, do you feel that? I'm like, what? She's like, do you have goosebumps right now? I was like, yes. And I did. The hair was raising on my arms. She goes, that's always a sign that there's a presence there. And I was like, okay. She continues to walk through the different areas, and she just stops there and goes, you know, I don't get anything negative, but I get the overwhelming sense that they just love to watch. And as she's explaining to me that there's nothing malicious, that it's really pretty positive, they like the space and they like the things that are happening. And then from behind me on the shelf, one of our telephones, we heard a ding, ding, ding. And I just froze. And she just grinned from ear to ear, and she goes, they're just letting you know they're here. And I was like, okay, hi.
Unplugged prop telephone.
Unplugged. The shelf, there's no power up there. I experienced that. I heard that bell ring. I cannot explain to you why that bell rang. I'm not a person who has paranormal experiences. Like I go places And I might get a little skeezed out or hair might raise on my arm, but I don't see figures and I don't I don't see the mist. I don't have what people claim to be medium experiences. However, that day, standing up there, that bell rang and I cannot tell you why that happened.
Our second gizmo is the laser grid. So there's a grid projected onto the box right here. And obviously, if I put my arm in front of it, the laser disappears behind my hand. So the thinking is that if a ghost does anything unusual over here, the grid might disappear behind the ghost.
If there's a spirit in here, make the phone ring.
If you feel so inclined, of course. We'd like to ask you again, if you're up here, if there's anything paranormal or supernatural or spooky, make that phone ring or do any sort of thing to make your presence known up here. All right, thank you for your time. We won't disturb you any longer. Is her arm duct taped?
Yeah. Tap her up. Yo! She came to attack, man.
Although we didn't identify anything supernatural in the loft, the same cannot be said for the rest of the rooms we're about to visit in Springfield High School's auditorium. Time for an ad read. Welcome to my ghost kitchen. Today we're gonna be cooking Ghost HelloFresh Ghost 1-pan cantina shrimp fajitas. The key to cutting vegetables well is to turn the lights off and not look at them.
Why are you chopping it like that?
Guacamole. It really just walked itself in there. I don't like that. While this cooks, let's try to contact the dead. Ghost, do you have anything to tell us about your thoughts on HelloFresh? Hi, I'm a ghost. HelloFresh sends a box of pre-portioned ingredients and easy to prepare food straight to your front door. It can be cooked in just a few simple, foolproof steps. I actually learned how to cook with HelloFresh, and now my kitchen bends to my whim and recognizes my dominance. Oh my god, that's crazy, guys. We just heard from the dead. HelloFresh, more like goodbye not fresh, am I right, guys? Do you have anything else you want to say? If you want to consume a fit and wholesome meal, be sure to use the code POGKIAN APR50 for 50% off your first box. We just proved that ghosts are real. Boom. Now we put this into the burrito skin. Now we put this green stuff in the burrito skin. Semen. And we have a 1-pan cantina shrimp fajita that you yourself can't eat. Mrs. Theater is not the only person I interviewed. This project allowed me to reunite with a number of former classmates and receive their first-hand accounts of strange encounters in this very auditorium.
Freshman year, during Invalid, since I had the smallest role in the show, I just sat always there just by myself. I remembered hearing somebody strictly said in my ear my name. Like they just were like, Lily. And so I like looked at everybody and like stopped everything and was like, did somebody just say my name? Everyone was just like, what? Lily, no, we're in the middle of rehearsal, like, stop. And I was like, okay. And I remember thinking that it was you. Like, I swore that you were pranking me somehow, but like, you kept denying me, being like, no, Lily, like, it wasn't me, like, I swear, like, I was on stage.
That is the kind of thing I would do, but I have no memory of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That voice in her ear was me my senior year messing with her when she was a freshman. Eventually she figured out it was me, so I had Trinity and our friend Ethan whisper into Lily's ear when I was on stage.
Keen walks up to me and he's like, hey, I've got this idea. Lily caught me, but we want to make sure that she thinks that this is a ghost, okay? Little did we know that she never figured it out that it was all of us, and I guess it freaked her out enough to make her think it was a ghost this whole time.
So Lily will be discovering as she watches this video with all of you that we were her ghost experience.
Sorry, Lily.
But Bradley's is unaccounted for, and now we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Tell me about your spooky ghost adventure.
I think it was sophomore year. So in that scene, I basically went off to stage, like backstage left for a while, and I was literally just like shooing flies off of an invisible baby that entire time. Like I wasn't doing anything for almost that entire scene. And while I was sitting there, I kind of started to hear like Bradley, like someone was whispering to me, and it was almost like I don't know. It sounded more like almost like a childlike voice. I don't know if that's a common factor in these stories, but it was a very like child-sounding voice almost. And the entire time, I thought it was one of my friends who was trying to get my attention. I was getting really mad. I was like, oh my God.
Like he's in the audience?
Yeah. I was like, oh, are you serious? And so after though, I was like, okay, I gotta get up and look. And like as we were leaving and like packing like, you know, all the props up and stuff, I look, he's way in like the middle. Like he's in the middle of the auditorium, like right in the center. Nowhere near where I even was. And so, I don't know, it was just really weird because like, if he was whispering, which for one also, I don't think he would do that during one of my performances. But it's like, he had been whispering really loudly. No one stopped him, no one told him to be quiet or anything like that. No one even noticed it.
Zooming through this one act, it's very clear that no one is whispering. The next gizmo is the triangle thing, which acts as a double-sided motion sensor. If one of the sensors starts going off and you're not causing it, you just might have a ghoul on your hands. Woo. Here we go. Is there a presence in this part of the auditorium? Is that a phone ring?
That sounds like a phone.
I heard a phone and then Drunken Love by Beyonce.
While Trinity and Jaden readjust the cameras, the green light thing, whatever it's called, it goes off. Oh, okay, yeah, Jaden. Wait, are you saying Jaden goes there and gets me and you get Finn?
Yeah.
Green went off.
Did it?
Yeah. Shoot. That wasn't Jaden, because there's only a 2-foot radius. No shot. In the exact same spot you just went? Yeah.
All right.
Do that. No. Dude, it went off. Green went off. If you are here, make your presence known. Touch the triangle between my friend and I. How many of you are in here? I heard 20.
I heard 20.
I heard 20. I heard 20.
I heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you say the name Bradley? You know, we got other places to be. If you're not gonna talk, I mean, we got other ghouls to talk to all over here.
They might not be, they aren't ghouls.
Oh, you're right. Is that like a slur?
No, but a ghoul's different. A ghoul is like a physical manifestation of...
I thought that was a specter.
I don't know my lore.
See, what I think is odd about this is like, we'll ask a question, then we're waiting like 20 seconds until we hear something that vaguely works as a reply.
Yeah, that's true. Ian, I want to acknowledge this. When I walked in there, my camera was on when I went to the bathroom. I don't think you saw anything though.
No. Did I just did that on camera?
You see my Charlie Brown? Just don't acknowledge it to me. Okay? Don't say it.
Then we took her backstage in the auditorium. She actually walked through the doors and went, oh, this is an older space. I was like, yeah. And she goes, you definitely have something here. And I was like, oh, okay.
During Little Women, I was backstage, and it was during a show. So there was an audience, everyone was there, like it was a real deal. Casey had just taken the tray off stage, and she set it down on the prop table, like flat against the prop table. I remember a couple minutes before my entrance, out of nowhere, like I swear to you, like nobody was moving, like there's no movements, and this spoon just goes flying off the tray. It just flew off the tray and onto the floor. It wasn't even like it was just a tiny, like, oh, maybe it just fell off. Like, it flew off. And it, like, flew, like, a considerable couple inches off away from the table. And there was, like, no drafts in that area. Like, there's drafts in the auditorium, and there's not one in that, like, direct spot. Whoever it was, whatever it was.
Likes to do a little trolling.
Yeah, like, and I was like, you just like to mess around.
This is backstage of the auditorium, where Lily experienced a spoon rapidly flying off the table. And this time, it wasn't me. Right here, we have 3 spoons that the ghost can use to fling off the table.
And if the ghost shows himself, we have this from Spirit Halloween. It doesn't open.
Well, it doesn't open because you have to keep them trapped in here.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Initialize.
Come on. No! Here we go.
Oh, wait. Where are you going?
Sorry, I was just looking at myself in the mirror.
We look pretty cool.
No, we don't.
Spirits, if you feel so inclined, why don't you fling a spoon off of that tabletop? Go ahead. Take your time.
If you are here with us, please make your presence known and touch one of the spoons.
Or you could make like a musical instrument, slap them around like you're a hillbilly in 1883. I really feel wholeheartedly, with every fiber and ounce of my being, that a spoon is gonna fly off a table today. Should we drop a beat to encourage the specters to show up?
The Whiplash finale. That's an awful
never seen
reference.
Whiplash.
You've never seen?
No, I have no clue what you just referenced. We came all the way here, a whole 8-minute to 1-minute drive from our respective homes. 11 for you?
Yeah.
He drove 11 minutes to talk to you today. So please, make your presence known.
How come when we were younger kids, like at the Scholastic Book Fair, everything was spy stuff? What was
I remember
up with
that. I was actually, fun fact about me, when I was little, I wanted to be a spy so bad. I was obsessed.
I don't get that. Why did us little kids, there was a glorification of political country espionage. Espionage.
At this point in the investigation, an audio recorder captures nothing in particular. The SHS Auditorium also has its fair share of named ghosts, figures with eerily similar appearances who have been seen time and time again. One of these is said to be an old man, whom the theater has lovingly taken to calling George.
Multiple custodians will not go in there alone at night. They won't. They refuse to work in the auditorium alone at night. There was one gentleman, and this is a story passed on to me. The former theater teacher here said there was actually he might have been a maintenance guy, but he was like, he described him as like salt of the earth guy, right? Doesn't have time for ghost nonsense kind of human, right? And he said that there was a night that he was walking backstage, and he came out and saw Jonathan and was like white, right? Like the adage, right? Pale as a ghost. And he was like, dude, are you okay? And the guy was like, I don't know what just happened, but I was backstage and a white figure just walked through me. And And he just left. Like, it was just a weird, bizarre story, and can't explain it. But the former teacher was like, "This is not something this guy would even joke about. He doesn't have time for that." And yet, one of the stories comes from him.
It was senior year, so I was probably 18 at the time, I think, and it was during one act, which put it at like January maybe. I helped run warm-ups and an auditorium, obviously, and when we were done, I went to go change and get my lines figured out and everything. And I came back and all the lights were on in the auditorium, but it looked like everybody was in the makeup room. So I went into the auditorium though, and I, without thinking, just kind of yelled like, "Yoo-hoo, anyone in here?"
It's a cringe thing to do.
It was very cringe. I went to the auditorium and I stood in the center of the stage pretty much to look at the whole auditorium to see if anyone was there that I was missing. And I yelled and I looked up in the lighting and sound booth. And there was just an old man, and he looked older. And he just looked at me and then waved at me. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he seemed to be smiling at me, and he's waving, so I just kind of waved back, turned around, looked back, and he was still there. And I was like, "Okay." So I left the auditorium, turned off all the lights, and I just kind of yelled, "Good night, see you later," and then booked it out there pretty much, just like left. And then during intermission, I talked to Plum because I had just performed and I could go watch now, but she came back to talk to the actors. And I'd asked her if anybody could have been in the auditorium because the show was in the black box, but Little Women rehearsals had just wrapped up, and she was like, "No, the show's in the black box. Everyone's gone from Little Women. I don't think we even had lights and sound tech by this point yet. We didn't have it yet." So she was like, "No one's in there," and it was just a little bit spooky.
So Plum said there was no one else from choir or orchestra or band or any of the other departments who might have had lighting.
Nope.
That's really weird.
Yep, no one was there.
Imagine if that wasn't a ghost and it's just some guy who has no clue who traumatized a girl for the rest of her life.
He's gonna watch this video and be like,
"Oh, I was just being nice."
No.
Now we are in the Springfield High School light booth. This is where Bailey saw a mysterious old man.
This is easily the most haunted space in the whole auditorium, off of my personal experience and what I felt.
What have you felt?
Weird chills. Well, now I'm saying it out loud and thinking, it's really not ghostly, but sudden gusts of wind down the lawn corridor.
I made out with a cheerleader up here my senior year. Now we're adding the electrical sensor to our hunt. Oh wait, put the goggles down.
Oh, sorry.
Of course, we're hunting. This thing's obviously electric. Ghosts are said to just become electric when they die. Oh, it's detecting electricity in a mostly electric room. Oh, well, that freaked me out. That was me. So let's see if we get any activity on this thing. Although with the benefit of hindsight, bringing an electricity detecting device into a room full of electricity may produce false positives, but there's no way to know if they're false positives. It could be a ghost.
We're ghost hunting. False positive is our middle name. If you are in here, please make your presence known.
Finn thinks this is the spookiest room. Are you a ghost?
Amy.
Ooh.
I heard Amy. Is your name Amy? No. That was the same tone. Did you just hear that?
I did, yeah.
I heard yes. Is it just you in here?
Alone.
I heard alone. I heard alone. Oh my heart. There's no way. You heard that.
I did.
I heard Amy. Is your name Amy? Yes. Is it just you alone? All three were in the same tone.
Amy, if you're in here, can you either make our electricity sensor activate or cause some movement on the proximity sensor? We can step out of your way if you want. Or I guess I'm the only one in the way. It's kind of rude to walk through people.
If you are in here, touch the triangle. We need to learn about her.
Yeah.
Amy, how old are you?
Finn, you don't ask a woman that.
Okay, I swear I'm 18. I swear.
You heard 18? I heard 2 syllables.
Amy was a student.
Oh yeah, Amy, were you a student at Springfield High?
I heard no. I heard no, but the R kind of became emphasized. I heard no. Were you a teacher at Springfield High School?
Or did you come attached to an object? Answer mine instead.
I heard yeah. I heard yeah.
Okay, Amy, we want to show you how this works. It detects objects near it, so we'd like you to make one of these, make a beeping sound. We turn this off for now. If you're in here, we want you to make one of those light up.
Oh.
Do a little more.
Oh. Oh. It's pulsating a lot.
If you touch that electric box and the proximity sensor goes on, we'll know for sure you're here. If not, if it's only one of them lighting up, thank you, Finn, it's probably a fluke.
Can I see what kind of light we're looking for here? Okay. So that's the kind of light we want, is like the, okay.
Were you clarifying for you or for Amy?
For myself. That's Amy as well. Perhaps we misheard her name.
It was Ami. So Bailey said she saw an old man up here, but we just got a woman named Amy who said she's 18 years old.
Did we ask if Amy's alone up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said alone.
Alone. The words alone.
Yeah.
So
maybe we misheard. Maybe the name isn't Amy.
But 18.
And maybe it wasn't 18, it was 80.
What's the guy version of Amy?
Andy, who's 80.
So the theater calls you George. Is your name Andy?
It's Hannity.
Okay, what are the odds? What are the odds?
Back for every gallon you buy.
Every gallon?
Whatever you buy.
Whoa.
Is Sean Hannity haunting this auditorium?
With in front of you the debit card, and you get paid just because you're a member for free.
If your name is George or your name is Andy, make your spirit known. I'm just a quirky little white boy here to talk to some ghosts. Quirked up white boy here to talk to a transparent, quirked up clear boy. The way everything answered in a woman's voice,
Yeah.
and now we're like, Andy actually.
Are you a woman?
Are you non-binary?
I heard yes.
Nothing I can make out.
We got results up here though.
Do you think we should leave this up here, like leave it alone just for a little bit? Maybe like 5 minutes and then come back?
Her words were that if you stand here in the middle of the stage, you can feel yourself being watched from the loft, from up in the catwalk, from that lighting booth, that lecture hall, and up there. And she was telling me basically everything here is real positive. Everyone just loves to watch what we do, which I'm glad. She goes, except for right over there. And she goes, that is very judgmental. She goes, so I get this very judgy vibe over there. And so I shared this story with the language arts teachers at lunch one day, and one of the teachers went, I knew it. She goes, every time my students test in that lecture hall, we scored terribly. And she refused to do any more AP testing in there because the scores were so dismal.
I was painting a set for Lucky Stiff. The first period in both my mornings, I would go into the theater by myself for like an hour and a half every single morning, and I would just paint by myself. And it would, like, when I first started, it made me like really eerie. Like, I couldn't be in there. I would have to like talk. That's how I got through it. Like, I would talk to myself, and it was so weird. Like, I would just, like, I literally like would spill my entire life while I'm painting, and I would just talk to myself. Like, that was the only way it would make me feel better. Like, because it was so, like, the vibes in that room were just like, it felt like so many people were watching me. And I remember the janitor even walked by a couple times, and like, I would just have to like stop talking, and it would be so weird. He thought I was a weirdo. But anyway, so like, I took the English SATs in one of those study halls in the auditorium at the very back. So I was just painting one morning after I took this ACT, and I was thinking about like, which ACT room did I like take my thing in? Like, which one did I do it in? I asked them if they all had a door in the back because the light room was only on one door. So then I like asked that out loud. Like, one of the voices, it was like, no, like in my ear, and like it was like having an AirPod like in my ear. Like, it wasn't my normal like head voice saying no. It was like a voice like next to my head, like no. And then it was like wind, and I just remember being like so like scared. Like, in that moment, like it felt like I was like paralyzed. Like, I couldn't even like walk.
So that's happened there. I did have a young man ask me during a dress rehearsal for a show I wasn't directing if I let people in to watch their rehearsal, and I was like, no, nobody watched his rehearsal, they're private. And he goes, okay, I just checking. He goes, because sometimes I see ghosts. And there were two men sitting there crossed arms, with their arms crossed, and just nodding at us like they didn't like what they were seeing, and they did have a bad rehearsal. For me, it's a little endearing in that I think of them as the men from the Muppets.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, I love that.
If you look closely in this frame, you can see a strange figure standing behind Miss Plum. Could this be George, caught on camera?
Let's go into the lecture hall then.
I'm ready.
When we were students, Miss Plum made it very clear no one's allowed to jump over this railing, but I graduated. Bow, 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 bow.
What up, you old farts?
All right, you just heard it from Miss Plum herself,
Yep.
Mrs. Theater. This is where the angry, grumpy, judgmental spirits live. Cursed to watch high school plays for eternity.
God bless you, honey. Let me play that song for you.
Is there anyone in here with us?
I feel like I said maybe.
Yeah, heard a man.
Do you like haunting this space?
What?
I heard like word.
I heard what or word? How many of you are there?
I feel like we're asking the same questions over and over.
Heard 4.
What?
You're seeing things move in that corner?
Should we go back there? You think there's something there? That one. Okay, bottom corner. We're gonna walk over here to keep talking to you. Did you like Little Women? No. Whoa, I heard no.
Immediately I heard no.
Immediate no.
Did you like?
I'm so cold. I'm so cold.
Me too, but that's a natural response.
No, but like, okay, they said no. They did not like Little Women.
Will you,
Immediately.
you ask if they like people taking tests in here?
Do you like it when people take tests in here? What I heard, like, it's fine.
I heard like fuck.
So much is happening. There's so much coming through.
Did you like Lucky Stiff last year? Indifferent.
What is your name? Elijah.
Did you guys enjoy the work in progress rehearsals of our high school musical production that got shut down due to COVID?
I heard I didn't.
I heard it like Tiger.
It's a Wildcats for this place.
Did you guys enjoy The Crucible?
Is it what?
I heard he said like liked it.
Liked it. I also heard liked it. So much is coming through compared to other rooms. I'm hearing I'm hearing all sorts of stuff. It's like there's multiple people in here. 6.
You heard 6.
I heard sit.
Sit? Would you like us to sit down?
Sit.
That's an ominous thing.
It's like a command.
Oh my gosh, this is the most spooky space. How long have you been in this space?
Do you like my goggles?
I'm hearing similar voices. In this space, tell us where you are. Dude, I'm starting to recognize the same voice. That's getting freaky. Okay.
Ask if it's behind you.
Are you behind us?
Are you sitting behind us? Yeah.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we're gonna
Stop.
leave you alone.
No. We're just sitting here.
You're right. We're the hunters.
We're just sitting. No, we aren't. We aren't hunting them.
We're the investigators.
We're not hunting them. We're ghost hunting. False positive is our middle name. Our names are Kian and Finn. We just want to talk to you. They're clearly in here.
We ask what?
Shh. I heard tapping. Shh.
Turn that off. I didn't hear it.
Shut up. I hear that.
Like an event. It's just the building settling.
It's erratic though. Okay, we're not done talking.
I hear that.
We have to, dude, we're doing so much. Please.
Okay.
Do you get along with the others in here? Oh, no. I just heard straight no. Do you enjoy being here? I heard that voice again, bro, but I couldn't understand what it was saying. I heard that voice again. I heard
So it was at like 95. Let's see, by the time it cycles back to 95, is there just like one radio station you're hearing?
Okay. Okay, I'm watching it. Coming in. Watch.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't either.
Well, that's evidence enough for me. It's a ghost. Do you want us to leave?
Do you want us to leave?
I feel like a woman said leave.
I heard a woman say leave.
I heard a woman.
Dude, no way. Okay, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave, bro.
All right.
You're on
See
the
you
phone.
later. Love you. Bye, guys.
That straight up said leave.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Who's that? Let's go.
That was a joke. That's a joke.
No shot. Somebody just did that. No way.
Hey, let's go.
Is your camera filming?
Let's go.
Are you filming?
Go.
See if anyone's out there.
Did you just open that door?
I'm carrying this brick.
You're lying.
Shut up.
No. We walked out. She was walking in carrying something. There's no way. Who else is here?
I totally opened the door.
Oh, was it? Ah!
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of these pranks.
Dang it, Plum.
I was gonna sneak in and scare you guys, but then you were leaving.
At this point in the investigation, a downstairs camera captures dust floating in front of the lens. Look at it go. The most infamous ghost in Springfield High School is said to be a little girl, frequently seen in the makeup room and the girls' bathroom. Due to a lack of creativity and a dash of sexism, her name is simply Georgina.
This young man was not a theater kid, and he was setting up his stuff for the band. And it was after school, and it was on a show night. So my students had left because we'd done all of our rehearsal preps. They left to go get food, come back for call. So I'm working on something in my office, and I get a knock. And this young man walks into the office, and he tentatively says, Miss Plum, can I ask you something? And it's like, you know, sometimes you just know what someone's going to say to you before they go. I just turn around and like, yes, you can. What's wrong? And he's like, have you ever had anybody like tell you weird experiences they had in the theater that, you know, that maybe they saw something? And I was like, well, that depends. What did you see? Well, I was over in the band area, and I was getting everything ready for the show, and I looked up, and there was this girl with long black hair standing in the curtain just staring at me. And I turned, and because she scared me, and I turned back, and she was gone. And I just looked at him, and I smiled, and I'm like, that's Georgina. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know what to say, because I'm like, well, other, you know, people have said that, and he just goes, I think I need to go home now. And I was like, okay, you are coming back though for the show tonight, right? And he was like, yeah, I'll be back, but I need to leave. And I was like, all right, there you are. So, so that was maybe the first real Georgina experience, because after I kind of shared that story, I've had a couple of students since then tell me different things they saw, because I did have one other student say he saw a girl with long hair watching him in the makeup room. And so I did have that story a couple years before, and then this young man's story, which fit into what the lady that came walking through our space said.
Do you see that?
Help.
Do you see that?
Bruh.
Is this a joke?
Bruh.
Is this a joke?
How recent is that? It's been there a while.
Went into the makeup room, and I thought that Bailey was in there. Like, so, like, I saw, like, someone with, like, really long, like, dark hair and, like, white. There was a bunch of, like, aisles of, like, costumes, you know? So it was, like, cluttered. Like, you couldn't see anything. But I watched this girl go back behind, like, all of the racks. I, like, just started talking to myself, and I was just kind of taking my stuff off and hanging it up back. And the whole time I'm, like, having a conversation because I think it's Bailey. The whole time I'm, like, hearing, like, stuff ruffle and, like, put stuff back. So I, like, assume that there's somebody back there. And then I went back there, and it's no one. It's, like, literally I was just talking to myself. And then I went out there, and I, like, told Bailey, and she's like, that's so crazy. Like, I was never in there, like, at all. And I was just like, oh. So that was really weird. And, like, Miss Plum told me about that, Georgina, how she's always, like, in the makeup room. So I honestly, like, I used to think it was a really trick of the light. But, like, the vibes just, it was really weird.
As we continue our Georgina the ghost? As we continue our final stretch of the investigation, looking into Georgina, we are joined by Jill Plum, Mrs. Theater herself. The next devices we're introducing are... Did I just blind you? Oh, sorry.
You did it again.
Oh, my bad. The next devices we're introducing are the mag lights. The idea here is that if you twist the mag light to the in-between of the on and off position, it's very easy to just, with the slightest movement, make it go on. So if you ask the ghost, turn the light on, the idea is that the ghost is just turning it itself with its energy to answer your questions. All right, Georgina, you're just a silly little girl. You want to make some friends. We're here to be friends with you. No.
That's all he's been doing.
No. I've been really respectful to the ghost today.
She
if
doesn't
you're
like to be seen. She's the shy.
Georgina, we don't have any cameras turned on right now. And so,
no, we don't.
If you're in this room, we would like you to turn on one of the mag lights or make your presence known in some other form. Electricity.
Oh.
Georgina, is that you?
You saw the electricity reading going off. That
yes.
was going off like crazy for a second.
That was very odd.
Oh.
Let's make sure it isn't detecting this.
They were touching it.
That was me.
No,
the electricity. Oh, I see that, yeah.
Was it not supposed to be blinking?
It's
there's
blinking
nothing,
rapidly.
Yeah, there's nothing it should be detecting at the moment.
So something's touching it.
Something electric.
Perhaps you could turn it around?
That was me. See, we moved the flashlights and it's still acting up. Apparently, when you die, you gain the superpower of being electromagnetic. You just become Electro from the hit 2014 film The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No.
Oh, the triangle? I think it just does that.
Maybe I was just in the in-between.
Oh. Hey, the mag light turned off by itself.
What?
We didn't even ask it a question. She's being proactive.
You're right. I wasn't even thinking about that.
She's being proactive.
Wait.
Aww.
Hey, Georgina.
It did turn off.
Could you turn that light back on for us? I see you reaching towards it.
They're trying to. Grid.
Oh, yeah, where is the laser grid?
It's in the bathroom.
Okay, let me grab the laser grid from the restroom.
Oh, it just came on again.
Okay, I'm not gonna be honest. I am gonna be honest. Every time Kian leaves,
it turns on. They don't like him.
Is Kian making me cranky? Because he can do that.
So the light just dimmed.
There's a lot of feedback coming through on that question. New one?
What did I just miss?
Nothing.
The light.
You'll find it when we edit this video.
We like having you here. Did you like fingernails this year?
Turn the mag light on if you enjoyed the show.
I don't think they liked fingernails.
I think you're just picking on our show. Did you like Little Women last year? Did you like the play that we did last year?
You are a little woman, so it would make sense if you enjoyed that production.
He's not. Is there anyone in here with us?
She seems to respond to Miss Plum more. Miss Plum, would you like to ask that question?
Do you help us protect the space?
We're getting close.
For a little science experiment. Or experiment, you wanna like step out of the room, kid?
Okay. Have fun, guys.
Okay. What is your name? I didn't hear the first syllable. Aura. What is your name?
When the lady came in here, she said she felt something from over there. So if she felt the watching from there, it's probably from out on the catwalk.
It's like being burned.
This is the catwalk. I came up here once as a sneaky senior, and I was terrified of the heights, but now I feel fine. I don't know why. Oh, is this hanging? I'm hardly a professional ghost hunter. I'll just hold it. All right. Georgina, have you ever been in this catwalk? And are you here right now? Finn, what should I ask it?
How old they are.
That's your only gimmick? Is that all you have in your bag of tricks?
That's what I like asking, because you can get their age, and then you can look back in yearbooks.
Okay, Georgina, you're a little girl, so how old are you? And if we hear a number under 18, we'll know something's up. If you're really in this space, throw me over the edge of this catwalk. Just chuck me like a rag doll over the edge. We're gonna ask you one more question. Today, during the next leg of our investigation, will you please come out to play with us? Will you? I'm not hearing anything.
Mr. De Silva is in here, Tian Carlisle.
Is he? Do you have any ghost stories, Principal De Silva?
To be honest with you, I was here late one night, and then the security people came over to see why the alarm was still off. I was so tired, and then I came face to face in the hallway with that guy. I jumped about this high. But I was thinking of a ghost. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good to see you as well.
At this point in the investigation, someone somewhere else in the world may have died. Given that there are 106.6 deaths per minute on average, isn't that depressing? Could be you next.
I was in the bathroom and I was alone, changing, whatever, and looking in the mirror. And I may have been washing my hands even, I don't really know. But I saw like a
It's a
flash.
very safe thing to do during the health measures of the
Thank
last year.
you.
I'm glad you're washing your hands.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm nothing if not the safest, healthiest person.
That's very cool.
Yes. Being safe and healthy is cool, guys.
I'm not putting, that's really cringe. I'm not putting that in.
It was really funny.
Okay.
So I'm washing my hands doing something, and I look in the mirror, and I see a flash of like what everyone says that they see in the girls' bathroom. A flash of dark hair, like part of a face, and then it looks like she's wearing white maybe. And I was like, oh no! And I spun around, nothing was behind me, spun back around to the mirror, and nothing was there. She was totally gone. And so I think that I saw Georgina. And Georgina scares me a little bit more because something about a ghost in a bathroom doesn't sit right with me. So I felt, I don't know if I told anybody because I didn't want to be like cliche or anything. I don't know. I can't even remember, but I booked it out of there and was not alone in the bathroom, I don't think, ever again.
The woman did ask me about, did someone bring a Ouija board into the space? And I was like, oh, before me, I heard she was like, never bring one in again. And I was like, don't worry, they freak me out. I want nothing to do with that.
I'll return mine.
Yes, please, don't bring them anywhere near here.
So we were going to use an Ouija board in here, but
No.
Miss Plum got very, very mad.
Absolutely not.
I was gonna get the interview clip of you saying, I will never allow that into space, and then cut to us using it, because I thought that'd be funny. After this, we're gonna leave this space, so if you want to be heard, if you're dying to make your voice known, this is your final opportunity. Georgina.
Dying isn't sensitive.
If you're living to make your voice known, we have lots of gizmos. We have 2 mag lights you can turn on. You can disrupt the laser grid, you can activate the proximity sensor, or you can trigger feedback on the electromagnetic device. Or you can thrust a spoon across the room with all kinds of passion and fury. Oh, where's the spirit box?
I have.
Oh, cool.
Do you want it on?
Let's wait for a second, see if anything happens. Oh, that's my alarm. Let's ask a question. Georgina, why do you reside in this restroom? Is anyone here?
I heard yes.
Did you?
I heard yes. Watch it back. Please watch the video back.
I feel like if I was a ghost, I just wouldn't want to see a boy pee. And also, I've heard horror stories of that boys' bathroom where boys try to see how long pee can sit in a urinal without flushing it, or weird things like that.
Do you remember when Ethan and PJ broke the sink in the boys' bathroom?
Yes, that was very funny.
That same day we put a cheeseburger in the urinal as well.
See, I would not want to live my life in there.
So
if I was a ghost.
That's why Georgina only stays in the girls' one.
I feel like I'm going crazy with the spirit box, bro.
No, most of the time when you heard it, when you heard it, I heard it.
The problem is it's because I want to hear something, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I feel like that's a big factor of it. Wait, proximity.
Whoa,
Turn that off. Power button.
I mean, it could be Plum.
I don't. Oh, man.
Are you Georgina? No.
Ooh, did you hear that? I think so,
No.
yeah. I heard it.
I heard that.
No, I heard no. Whoa. If you are here with us, could you touch one of those mad lights?
Just turn on a light. Alright. Hold on. That was a really wonderful climax. Alright, we're packing up. This thing's going off non-stop. We've taken it away. We've taken everything out of its radius.
It's going off like crazy. Wait, is there something below it? No.
Well.
Oh, it's really going.
But there's nothing electric near it that it could be reacting to that I can see.
How shocking.
All right, thank you, Jill. All right, thank you, Miss Plum, for this interview. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome, Kian.
Thank you, Jill.
You're still a student here.
No, I'm not. Stop! Start over! They're not supposed to know that!
There is not a doubt in my mind that Finn and I captured every ghost in that high school. Not a single Springfield High student will experience a spooky encounter in that auditorium ever again. For I am the greatest ghost hunter of all time. I am a magnet for the supernatural.
Guys, We really are. Wait, I need to be on the side of you. You gotta be in the middle.
You're on opposite sides now.
Okay. You're so smart. There are mysteries to the universe we were never meant to solve. But what ghosts are and why ghosts are here are not among them. Those answers we carry inside. I am Kian Carlisle, and this message is to ghosts. Leave planet Earth alone, 'cause I'm coming for you. And this has been Solved Good, man. Yeah!
Wow. I think you miss.
Shut up, Cracker. And that is, of course, referring to Cracker the food in reference to HelloFresh.
Oh, of course. What else would it be in reference to?
Nothing that I can think of.